Good morning, everyone. I hope all of you are fine, hale, and hearty. Let's begin the YEP series that we have decided to do. Let me just check whether I'm live or not. Yes, I'm live. Yeah. Yep. Okay. So, guys, welcome to this year-end practice pain points marathon completion series, and I'm Dr. Bhavdeep Ahuja. So allow me to share my screen and let's begin the proceedings. So I hope you can see my screen. It is going on FB Live as well in the PSD community. And this is the only episode that will be live. Yep, I think it is. Yeah. Okay. So this is the YEP series. We started with the pain point surveys in June 2023. And of course, the aim was to finish all the pain points. So every month we have been taking webinars, and now it is the time when we ought to bring the curtains down, or you can say finish what we have started. So let's begin episode number 7. Before that, a few instructions which I'll be doing only in the part 7 or episode 7 only. So all my presentations always begin with thanking the Lord Almighty who's given me much more than what I deserve. And of course, big thanks is due to my dad as well, who has been instrumental in teaching me the clinical part of management, finance, and a few other things. So this is my brief CV. You all are aware of it by now. Won't be spending much of time. Just checking the audio. Yeah. I hope it is fine now. Great. So this is episode number 7 of the YEP series that we'll be doing for the next 5 days. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 26th to 30th, strategically placed between the Christmas and the New Year, so that you don't, you can say, hamper with your New Year celebrations. This is my webinar number 266. And of course, season's greetings and Happy New Year. So the wannabes for today, which I'm gonna, you can say, repeat once at this point of time. So I suggest you to quickly get a pen and a paper, keep noting the main points, because listening will never help. Jotting down the main points will surely does. And of course, writing is the best form of learning, and those who make notes will actually make notes. So you'll be needing to post your takeaways for those who did not attend. So what are the learning objectives for today for this pain point series? So the objective is that we are answering the pain points that have been listed in my WhatsApp community in June 2023. So 2022 videos are already there. Even a couple of 2023 episodes are also there. So I'll strictly adhere to the scheduled time except for the first episode today and answer approximately between 20 to 30 questions. There were about 230 to 40 questions approximately, split up, some were common. So we have answered close to 80 in the previous 6 episodes, each of finance and practice, and the remaining 140, 150, 160, whatever it is, we'll divide into 5 and be answering 20 to 30 questions in each of these 90 minutes. I won't do a recap because the recap as we go on till the episode number 8, 9, or 10 will take a lot of time. And only the first episode I'm going to do a recap so that people know what all queries have been covered till now. And this video will be there in the PSG group for the next 4-5 days till Sunday approximately. After Sunday, it will be there on YouTube. So the objective is to complete all the 2023 pain points. I'll be doing detailing wherever necessary. So we have picked up the problems as posted by the participants without changing the words. So there may be a few spelling errors inside of the same. Okay. So please bear with the spelling. So what is the aim? The aim is to complete this YEP series from Tuesday 26th December to Saturday 30th December. The online lectures or the webinars would be 266, 68, 70, 72, and 74. So each day 6:45 a.m. Tuesday to Saturday. Again, I'll be doing this detailing only in the in this episode, not from episode 8 onwards. Tomorrow we'll straight on get away with the agenda or the queries directly without even a recap. So for your request, if you are watching on phone, please shift to PC, tablet, or laptop. make notes using pen and notepad, and of course, physically or digitally, whichever way. Writing is the best form of learning. Remove all distractions around you for the next 90 minutes. And of course, your problems may get answered, but learn from others' problems as well. And if my solutions don't appeal to you, never mind. You can always ask anyone else. So what have we done in the past? Just a quick recap. So the Guru Purnima Day on 3rd of July, we did episode 1 and 2. On Teachers Day in September, we did episode 3 and 4. And on National Holiday October, we did episode 5 and 6 on October 2nd, 2023. So a quick recap of what all queries have been answered till now in the previous 6 episodes. So in the first episode, of course, we started with the introduction. What are the pain points? They're the problems which we all handle, and they were categorized into various parts like financial, productivity, process, support, ethical, not in our hand, and maybe pain points for salaried, and maybe broadly categorization into 4 parts into, say, various heads. The baseline for this was the survey that we did in the community. We had asked for the pain points in severity order: low, moderate, severe. And we shall, you can say, we started with the high severity order. And then by the 6th episode, we've reached the moderate severity level. So what all queries have been answered in the various episodes? The first one was from query from Surat, Gujarat. As I said, people forget which all queries have been answered or whether their query has been answered or not. So that is why I'm doing a quick recap only in episode number 7. From episode number 8 onwards, there'll be no recap. So number 2 was from Indore, Madhya Pradesh. Number 3 was from Peringalathur, Tamil Nadu. Number 4 from Meerut, Uttar Pradesh. Number 5 from Tier 3 city, India. Number 6 from Nagpur, Maharashtra. Number 7 from Pune, Maharashtra. And in episode number 2, we started with query number 8 from Nyamati Taluka, Karnataka. Number 9 was from Pune, Maharashtra. Number 10 was from Surat, Gujarat. Number 11 was from Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh. Number 12 was from Tier 2, India. Number 13 was from Trivandrum, Tier 3, Kerala. Number 14 was from Hingoli, Maharashtra. Number 15 was from Surat, Gujarat. Number 16 from Jamnagar, Gujarat. Number 17 from Chennai, Tamil Nadu. Number 18 from Bhusawal district, Jalgaon, Maharashtra. Number 19 from Bhiwandi, Maharashtra. Number 20 from Srinagar, J&K. And with that, we started with the episode number 3 and pain point number session number episode 3 with query number 21 from Mumbai, Maharashtra. Then from 22 from Mohali, Punjab. Then 23 from Panvel, Maharashtra. Number 24 from right now in Pune, but planning to shift to my hometown, that is a rural area in Rajasthan. And 25 from Vadodara, Gujarat. 26 from Delhi, India. 27 from again Delhi, India. So episode number 4, we started with the query from number 28 from Thane, Maharashtra. 29 from Mumbai, Maharashtra. 30th from Nagina's Jewel City of Uttar Pradesh. 31 from New Gurgaon, Delhi NCR, Uttar Pradesh. 32 from Bhusawal district, Jalgaon, clubbed with the 18 number query. Query number 33 from Hadgaon, Tehsil, Maharashtra. Query number 34 from Vadodara, Gujarat. Query number 35 from Dubai, UAE. Query number 36 from Tier 1 city, India. Query number 37 from Tier 3, India. 38 from Bangalore, Karnataka. 39 from Mumbai, Maharashtra. 40 from village Vani, Dindori, Nashik, Maharashtra. 41 from Ahmednagar, Maharashtra. 42 from Mysuru, Karnataka. 43 from Gandhi Dham, Gujarat. 44 from village Guthaj, Mehmedabad, Kheda, Gujarat. 45 from Vishakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh. 46 from Nashik, Maharashtra. 47 from Delhi, India. 48 started with episode number 5. 48 from, again, this started with an anonymous query that I received from Endo Haveli participant in my personal window. So it was a very intriguing query, which I answered. Query number 49 from Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh. Query number 50 from Latur, Maharashtra. 51 from Ulhasnagar, Maharashtra. 52 from Okay, 51 was pretty long. 52 started in episode number 6 from Ranchi, Jharkhand. 53 was from Mumbai, Maharashtra. 54 from my town, Ludhiana, Punjab. 55 from Navi Mumbai, Maharashtra. 56 from Mumbai, Maharashtra again. 57 from Shirpur, Nashik, Maharashtra. 58 from Kottayam, Kerala. 59 from Mandi, Himachal Pradesh. 60 from Wardha, Maharashtra. 60 was pretty long. 61 was from Mehsana, Gujarat. 62 was from Bengaluru, Karnataka. 63 from Tier 3 city, India. 64 was from Quatre Bornes, La Ville des Fleurs, Mauritius. 65 was from Delhi, India. 66 was from Kandukur near Hyderabad. 66 continued, and 67 was from Pune, Maharashtra. 68 from Mumbai, Maharashtra. 69 from Sonipat, Haryana. And 70 was from Jamshedpur, you can say Jamshedpur, Jharkhand. 71 was from Dubai, UAE. 70 with 71 number query, we finished the high priority pain points and then shifted to the medium priority pain points. And we did a couple of them from query number 72 onwards. So from Mumbai, Maharashtra, and number 73 from Thane, Maharashtra. And with this, we are done with the recap in perfectly about 10 12 minutes. So this was the last query that we answered. Query number 73 from Thane, Maharashtra. It is from the medium categorized pain points. I'm sure many of the participants don't even remember what they posted. Even if they remember what they posted, they don't remember what they posted in the category high or priority or medium priority or low priority. No wonder they don't turn up for the sessions to even get their queries answered. So it's time to bring down the curtains to the pain points. And I have always believed that we need to finish what we start. So 26th December to Saturday, 30th December, each day 6:45 in the cold winter season. I am in the coldest part of India, in the northern side. So, but still finishing what you start has been my mantra, and I will be doing that. So with this, we begin episode number 7 and episode number webinar number 266, episode number 7. Let's begin the pain point series. So disclaimer, there has been some mismatch even after so much you can say discussion, detailing. Many participants always have been mismatching, or you can say posting finance queries in practice pain point form and vice versa. I will still try to answer I have still tried to answer the same without being biased and ignoring the subject title, pain points in clinical practice. So I'll be doing that. So let's begin today's session with the query number 74 at the stroke of 7 a.m. Query from Mumbai, Maharashtra. Number 1, scarcity of patients. Even after social media marketing, patient flow remains very uncertain. Limited working hours, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So the question is, it is not about the limited hours. 6 hours is a pretty much decent, a good amount of time. So social media marketing is for visibility. It is for awareness. Kindly don't mix these two things with the, you can say, the patient footfall. The question is, it is a validation point. When I mention this thing, it is very categorically clear that performance marketing or paid ads are one of the to-go ways for increasing your OPD. But having said that, when I distinguish between the two, what is a social media marketing and what is a paid marketing? Of course, paid marketing happens on social media as well. But the organic way, the free way where you post content like I do is for the visibility part. It is not for revenue part. You may not get footfalls. That is absolutely fine. But just consider the reverse scenario that you are doing paid advertisement. Somebody searches for you online that who is this Dr. ABC? I've just presumed that your name is Dr. ABC. So who is this Dr. ABC? And if they don't find any validation on any social media, any website, or any other online presence, they will automatically believe that probably this is a newcomer. He doesn't have any validation point, so they don't get validation to prove them in that part. So social media marketing is still a must. But having said that, you have to, if you want to turn it into revenue, you have to go in for performance or paid marketing. The social media marketing, the aim is pretty much clear. It is for visibility. It is for get you known. You may or may not get work. Social media marketing may be equated if you are regularly posting content, and along with that you are posting your testimonials of the patients, your maybe before after cases. But having said that, how many are interested in that? So the paid marketing actually targets those who are interested. Content creation is for those you want to skip, you can say, see, it is a personal choice. So yes, uncertainty will be there, but remember, social media marketing is for visibility and not for increased footfalls. For footfalls, try performance marketing. I hope you get the answer. So query from Mumbai, Maharashtra: lack of communication skills and confidence, lacking clarity, uncertainty. The simple answer to your query is that if you know what you are lacking, it is always to create learning goals for such things. If you don't know communication, learn communication. Confidence is always increased by increased work. Your work will speak for itself. Not in the terms, you can say, of your advertisement. I'm saying your work will speak for itself in terms of your confidence. The more and more cases you do, the more and more practice you do, you are bound to get perfect. And of course, if you lack clarity, clarity is basically about goal setting. What are your long-term goals? What are your short-term goals? Everybody should have goals. If you lack clarity regarding that, sit down with a counselor, sit down with a growth coach, sit down with a practice consultant, sit down with a mentor who can guide you in that direction. But if you just believe that posting your query and you will get an answer, or you get an answer in one line, 1-2 lines from me, it is not possible. If you are lacking clarity cohesively, then you need to really sit down with a coach or a mentor to decide where your direction needs to be and which way you need to go when you have to decide about the direction. So uncertainty, of course, the uncertainty always will stem from lack of clarity itself. Because once we are clear about our goals, we have a roadmap chartered, and then we have the resources for that also chartered. And once all those things are in order, it is absolutely, you can say, a no-brainer that anybody or everybody would get the clear pathway to go where they want to go and achieve what they want to. So goal setting is very important, and for that you need to have a clarity. And of course, communication skills also can be improved. Nothing on this world is not doable, not learnable. If you have, at least you have this much clarity that you don't have communication skills, you don't have confidence, this is not full lack of clarity. This is lack of, you can say, partial clarity. You can say at least you know where you are lacking. You know that you don't have goals. That's perfectly okay. It's okay to be, you can say, I won't say abnormal, it is, I won't call it abnormal, but a little deviant from the normal. That is the only thing I can say. But having said that, you need to really, you can say, sit down and decide your goals and then decide the path accordingly. So I hope you get your answer. So query number 76 from Bengaluru, urban Karnataka. Even after so many years, I find it difficult to do class 2 restorations and end up charging less from patient in the fear of filling coming out. I find it difficult to convince patients for high-end treatment as I feel I lack the skill. The simplest answer is, if you know, or if you believe, even if partially, that you lack the skill, then it is time to upgrade your skills. Learn it from mentors who teach restorative skills. There are so many of them. Dr. Varsha Rao in Mumbai, you can say Dr. Shibu in your part of the country, Shibu Sridhar, Dr. Vishal Gupta in the northern part, in Chandigarh, Mohali, Panchkula, and the Tri-City. So depending upon where you're situated, I can see if you're situated in Bangalore, get it done from a mentor. If you want to, you can say, come north side in Rajasthan, there is Akshay, who is teaching all these things. So there are so many mentors who are teaching these things, who can guide you how to do proper restorations. So do that. Regarding high-end treatment, the question is, the class 2 is not a high-end treatment, it is a lower end, or you can say maybe a medium end. It is a skilled job, but I still rate it in categorization of restorations only, and restorations are a basic treatment. Of course, some may differ with that and call a class 2 as a very complex thing. Agreed. But then there are even complex things than you can say a molar root canal is a much complex thing than a class 2. I would believe. Then that is my personal belief. You are free to differ from that. There are further surgical tasks which are more deviant for them. So that is why I've categorized a restoration into a basic procedure. So if you feel that you lack high-end treatment skills, learn those skills. Unless you learn those skills, you will not get confident. You will not get confident. You will not be able to pitch it properly. And if you're not be able to pitch it properly to the patient, I'm afraid you're not going to have huge conversions in the long run. So the question is that how many times we think of even upskilling. We finish our college, maybe attend a 2 or 3 or 4 CDs in a year by our local IDA, which you can say are hardly for a day, rarely with a hands-on, and we believe we have learned. We have learned everything. I go to so many webinars and seminars, 1 day, 2 day seminars. I see participants sitting there without a notepad and without a pen or pencil in their hand. They are just sitting like this, listening, listening, listening. We are not sponges that we will be continue to absorb everything. We are distracted like anything in this world, in today's world. So if you are not writing certain things, you are not carrying home anything. That is why I always, before my presentation also, I insist on writing the notes which are applicable to you. So learn, learn, learn. And as doctors, we need to understand that we have lesser knowledge of the business skills. Of course, convincing comes in the selling part, and selling is an art, and selling needs to be done graciously, not, you can say, in a cheap way. So even that is a great art, and if you can master that art, you need confidence for that beforehand, and confidence will come with practice, and practice will come with learning, and learning will come with mentoring, or you can say getting coaching for whatever you are lacking in. You lack in restorations, you lack in root canal, you lack in FMR. There are mentors available for anything. Don't consider a mentor to be a guy who is cheating on you, who say सिर्फ पैसा बनाने के लिए बैठे हैं, as people say, ये लोग तो सिर्फ पैसा बनाने के लिए बैठे हैं. Imagine that guy has worked hard to learn something. He's gone to buy the seeds, grown the crop, taken care of the crop, and you can say harvested the crop, and then you can say processed it. And if you are getting grains, or you can say wheat, or you can say, let's say, the crop of chocolate. So if you're getting chocolates in your hand directly, you need to eat them by just paying them. You're not going through the grind to learn all those things. So just equate that, because the mindset today is that everybody is out to make money. Every mentor is out to make money. Yes, there will be dirty people, 10% dirty people in every profession. Aren't there cheap dentists as well? Aren't there cheap doctors as well? Cheap not in that sense of price wise, but cheap in terms of substandard or unethical or whatever you can say. So there will be 10% unethical people in every sphere, but don't equate that. So if somebody is willing to teach you, get a hand holding from them. I hope that answers your question. So query number 77 is from Vasai, Maharashtra. How to increase the footfall of the patients? I hate sitting idle with no patients. 9 years of practice and being an MDS prosto, there are days where I have no cases and I start getting anxious. I worked on my website, Google page, and it has improved. No doubts on that, but still there is lots to achieve and improve. The thing is, many people post their queries and they don't even realize that their answer is in their query itself. Your last line is the answer to your query itself. There is a lot to achieve and improve. So get a clarity on where you are lacking. And of course, you're working on your website is a visibility part. Google page is your visibility part. Google My Business or Google Page, I'm not sure what you're mentioning. If it is a Google My Business, it is definitely a good exercise. If it is just a Google page, I'm very skeptical about it. So yes, it has improved. It has improved your visibility. It is not the question of your visibility. Now, if you're visible, the next step for you is SMM, social media marketing. Of course, you can double it up along with the paid marketing, or do a SMM, social media marketing, for a period of around 3 to 4 months, and then get into performance marketing or paid marketing. And you can say it is not that expensive. It is dirt cheap, I would say, in today's times, when print advertisements have gone over the roof and out of the pocket, or out of the bound for most of us. So I believe that you need to consider performance marketing or paid marketing with a very, very targeted approach. But before that targeted approach, you need to have a clarity on who your patients are, whom you are primarily treating. Because once you need to go in for a paid marketing, you will be needing to uh, you can say identify with whosoever your patients are. And unless you do so, it will be difficult for you to even get results via paid marketing. So clarity is a lot important. You are improving, but keep on improving each day. 9 years is a lot of time to have stability. MDS, non-MDS, it is not a debate, but 9 years of practice, you should be actually, by the end of 10th year, people achieve, you can say, the success ladder. If I call it, you can say, from struggle to, you can say, making ends meet, to getting stable, to getting success is the fourth stage. Or sometimes you can say, we count it as the fifth stage as well. The first being start and survival are usually sometimes counted into two. So start, survive, you can say, somehow start, struggle, survive, and stable, and then success. And of course, then the scaling part is there. So 9 years, you should be at least in the comfortably in the stable phase. If you're not there, this is one way I've suggested you, the online way. If you are not very comfortable, you can say, spending money on that, then the other way out is to do community outreach. Go out there in schools, you can say social organizations, Red Cross, BNIs, wherever you want to get yourself exposed. Unless you are exposed to the public, you are not going to be much visible and much fruitful in terms of revenue. So having said that, both the ways work, offline and online. It depends upon you which is more suitable for you. And I hope this answers your query. So query from Mumbai, Maharashtra, number 78. I want to upgrade and do high ticket patients, but it is difficult to convince patients from my current database to take that leap. Opt for implants, full mouth rehabilitation. So also I've started charging more after attending practice management workshop and knowing about NPM, GPM. And it has helped me, but still patients do complain about high pricing and compared to nearby clinics who give free checkups and perks. So the question is, if you want to upgrade and do high ticket patients, the thing is you need to get practice and confidence first that you can handle those cases independently. So if you want to take that leap, the best and the suggested way is to do performance marketing or paid marketing. And people think that paid marketing is expensive. You can start with as low as 200 rupees per day, which is a monthly budget of 6,000 rupees. Imagine a print advertisement will cost you in big thousands, 20, 30, 50,000 rupees minimum, and that too not a very big ad. So a small, you can say, investment of 200 to 300 to max 500 per day. A 500 investment per day in paid marketing is a very, very decent one. You can start identifying with where your patients are. For example, oldies are present mostly on Facebook. Youngsters are present on Instagram. So YouTube is a universal platform. So you need to identify where your patients are. So if you identify with that my patients are here, you can do a targeted approach towards targeting those. For example, let me presume that your patients are, can say, middle-aged women between housewives, which are in the age of 35 to 50 years of age. So if those are your targets, you need to know where they are present, what are their interests. So of course, talking it out to them, you can say conversing with them will make you know. Almost everyone is present on Instagram and Facebook, or either of them at least. So you can do a targeted approach towards that. And to take the giant leap, the question is, where do you want to start with? Now, if your target group is middle age women and you want to target probably, you can say, higher you can say higher echelons, or maybe you can say upgrade to the, you can say, bigger category of amazing and breadwinning patients, as I give the categorization of ABCD: amazing, breadwinning, convenience, and dangerous. So if you want to step up to A and B, then you need to realize that you need to have a particularly segregated niche which you market, and it is a process. You cannot just overnight do it. You have to create that, you can say, you can an aura around that, build up around that, a few cases, a few testimonials, you can say rapid package it beautifully, put it on your website, put it on your social media, double it up with paid advertising. I mentioned the budget and the categorization already with you, and that is the exact way. And this process usually takes around 3 to 4 to 6 months. It's not a long process, but it is not a process that will work overnight. Yes, knowing about your GPM and NPM is surely going to help you, but patients will still go on complaining. It is an Indian's right to do bargaining. And if as an Indian we can't do bargaining, we are not recognized as being Indian. So it is their duty to do that. But if they are complaining and still coming back to you, you already know the answer, that where do you lack, or where do you can say need to, you can say, improve. The question is, if something has costed you 2000 rupees, for example a PFM crown, if it has costed you 2000 rupees, would you do it at 2100, 2500 even? I will not do it. I'll prefer to, you can say, forego the patient rather than doing it. I'll spend time in, you can say, making the patient understand about the difference between a good quality crown and a normal crown. I won't say a ghatia crown or a substandard crown, but a good crown and a normal crown. But if the patient is not able to decipher the difference between that and wants a cheaper option, I'll let it go. The thing is, it should not hurt here that I'm letting go of the patient. That is where your conversion ratio comes into being. Not everyone walking through your door is your patient. 100 आएंगे 72 करेंगे. So that is the way. 72% is the ideal conversion ratio. So that means there will be 28 patients. You will say a goodbye, or they will say a goodbye to you. So it is about not getting hurt and realizing that probably this is how it was meant to be, and find peace in that. Okay, this is the queries further continued. 78. Lack of standardization of pricing is a big problem, as new clinics keep mushrooming every year and giving cheaper options to the patient. The growth becomes stagnated for us. The question is, new clinics are opening up fine, but how are new clinics pricing? How do you know that? Trust me, I don't know my pricing of my neighborhood dentist who have opened up in the past 24 years. I'll be completing my 24 years of practice on 31st December this year. I started on 1st Jan 2000. It'll be 24 years completed. I'll start my 25th year on 1st Jan. So I don't know even till date how much my neighbors charge. In fact, I am sitting dead opposite to a Gurdwara, which has a charitable dispensary. I am sitting about 300 meters from a mandir on my left side, which is again a charitable dispensary and has a huge dental wing. About less than a kilometer on right side, another you can say mandir having charitable dispensary. North side, just alongside that, about 1.5 kilometers, there is a huge charitable hospital. So I even don't know what they are charging. I am getting my worth. So it is not about question of what options you are giving or what options they are giving. If they are giving cheaper options, you can say settle down, make a union, make a, you can say, an assembly, make एक तरह से अपनी एसोसिएशन लोकल बना लो, अपने मोहल्ले की एसोसिएशन बना लो. You can say you take the lead. I know it is easier said than done. People don't intermingle with their neighboring dentist or their, you can say, neighborhood dentist. But if you can do that, sit down with them, just make them watch my NPM GPM videos. They're freely available on YouTube. Just make them watch that. If they understand the carry home thing after that, perfectly fine. If they still want to burn and break their neck and back, it's absolutely their choice. So how to systematically increase salary of staff and associates, how to create an SOP for this, and should it be profit driven? Like during corona, there was less or no profit, the staff did not expect a raise, but eventually as the clinic started, the expectation was there to compensate for the year gone by. See, there are two ways of doing it. Number one way is simply saying annually giving an increment. That is a no brainer. You don't your increase your charges every year, it is your problem. Don't make your problem as their problem, especially if your staff is dependent upon your income. It is always expected that they would expect a raise, and if they're living only on your income, they're expecting to, you can say, expectation of getting a raise every year is absolutely fine, because inflation bug bites everyone. Everyone gets more cost, everyone gets, you can say, more expenses each year, and the same is trickling down into our savings. So their expectation is nothing but natural and absolutely justified. You not increasing your charges every year is non-justified, just because of the fear of the neighboring dentist charging less. So if you are clear about that part, that is one aspect. Increasing their, you can say, salaries, or in giving them an annual increment. So there are SOPs for creation, but then those are based on the bonus part. Sometimes some people link it to performance. Some people link it to multiple aspects like performance, punctuality, their behavior, their output, you can say their workability, their work ethics, their, you can say, improvement in every sphere of life they are leading in your clinic. If they are a better, you can say, a manager day by day, they deserve a raise. So many companies follow this formula of segregating this thing based on various criteria. So I deal that in the detailing of the advanced HR workshop, where I give a breakup of that. But then that is meant for multi-specialty practices, where the staff is, you can say, 5 to 7 plus in number, minimum 5 to 7 plus, of course 10, 15, 12, 20, all those are applicable, because every staff member is not doing the same job. Everyone will not deserve the same bonus, and because everybody is not the same on same salary, and everybody is not doing the same job as well. But for smaller clinics, the simple formula just for this, or creating an SOP for this, would be giving an annual increment, number one, and number two, linking it to profit. For example, I'll just presume a number here. Your clinic is earning 1 lakh per month average. Again, this is an average, net gross aside. Just think that your clinic is earning 1 lakh per month. Just have that one figure in the mind. What is your average earning? Suppose any month your clinic does 2.5 lakhs, means 2.5x of the average. Then you need to distribute your profits. It can be 10 to 20% of their salary, depending upon how much you can do it. Remember, if they are working at 8,000, 9,000, 10,000 of salary, 10 to 20% salary will be maximum 2,000 rupees. Maximum 2,000 rupees. And remember, you have earned 1.5 lakhs more. So if you're sharing some profits, you're actually motivating them. But then, having said that, there will be months, I've kept the number at 1 lakh. There will be months when the performance may be down. Maybe you are earning 80,000, but that does not mean you deduct their salary in that month. The salary would still be paid. The bonus is over and above if the clinic performs. So make it very clear to them when you're doing it, because it instills motivation for them to do better and better for your clinic. The simplest answer is make your goals as their goals, or make your goals as our goals. and share the same vision. And if the staff shares the same vision as you, if they are happy and satisfied monetarily, financially, and it is not only about the monetary part. I've always said staff needs to be controlled in 4 aspects: monetary growth, career growth, work-life balance, and respect and care. So these are the 4 aspects. Sometimes even we do all 4, still we lose staff members. I'm teaching you all this. I lost one staff member in the month of November, who I recently employed in May. He was doing, you can say, decently okay, not showing a great career spike, but then we still followed the 4 things. Made him do something career growth wise, gave him an increment in the 4th month, gave him a good Diwali bonus in spite of he being only 6 months old. Still, you can say, treated with respect and care. Work-life balance, Sundays were respected or holidays were respected. They were given an alternate day off in lieu of if they were working on Sundays. So somehow still there will be 10 to 20% black sheep in every profession. So just because 1 or 2 people do this thing, don't make it a generalized thing. इनके लिए जो भी कर लो बहुत कम है, because they are not going to stay. This is going to happen. So don't make it a generalized feeling for every one of them. So I hope this answers your query. Oh, there is still left. Sorry. So if there is a method to calculate and fix this, then it would be great. I hope I have already told you the method, the annual increment, plus if the clinic performs well, add those things, 10 to 20% of the salary, you can add it. You can do more also, but this is the bare minimum that I expect. I gave you the number. If you're earning 1 lakh, you earn 2.5, you're sharing 20% would still be just 2,000 rupees out of that 1.5 additional earned. So think. So if they have an instrumental actually in contributing to your clinic growth, please share your profits. So how to decide the amount of professional indemnity needed, and do we need to upgrade from time to time? Yes, you need to. A basic start point is 10 lakh rupees. That is a no-brainer. उससे कम में आपको मिलेगी भी नहीं. Usually 10 lakhs is the starting point. So, and as and when you go on evolving, you go on increasing the procedures. Remember, professional indemnity is directly related to 2 aspects. Number 1, what specialty you are doing more. Number 2, how adventurous you are. Now, specialty की बात करें, 50.4% of medical legal cases are from surgical, extraction, or implant, all combined. 27 point something, 27.2 or 26.8 or close to 27 are from endo, which means these 2 specialties account for nearly 77% of all medical legal cases. Rest all 6-7 specialties combinedly are less than 23%. So what does that mean? If you are more of an endo person, if you are more of a surgical person, then you need to have a coverage of minimum 30 lakhs. Yes, if you increase your skill set, increase your, you can say, increase your all-round abilities, and you can say evolve with time, you need to evolve your professional indemnity policy as well. Having said that, consent is still a must. Documentation, record keeping is still a must. Rarely professional indemnity company would save you and create your records if you are not having these 2. They'll immediately reject your claim. Not everybody assists in creation of records. Mostly companies do that, but there are many companies who will still believe that if records can be still be created. Entries है ना, entries तो create कर सकते हैं ना. Lekin what about the consent? The consent requires patient signatures. If you're not taking consent, then I'm afraid to say that sometimes even the professional indemnity company may not be able to help you. And please differentiate between a customized consent and a blanket consent. What majority of India is taking is the blanket consent, which is not valid in any court of law. Consent needs to be comprehensive, and for dental scenario, it needs to be customized. So you must have seen there are multi-page consents in the hospitals. There are pre-printed ones. There are certain procedures which give predictable results. So they can be predictable results, a predictable, you can say, format printed in that. But for dentistry, You open up a cavity, you don't know what you are going to do. You may end up doing a restoration, you may end up doing an IPC, you may end up doing a DPC, you may end up doing a RCT, or maybe in between you may be able doing a sandwich also. So there are 4 or 5 options possible just for an open tooth also, for an open restoration also, open cavitation also. So if you have so many options, so many, you can say, options in one tooth which is just decayed, how can you have a single pre-printed consent even for that case? Just ask yourself. If you are still believing that my blanket consent is valid, patient ne bol de jo karoge aap zimmewar hai, main zimmewar, like that, it doesn't work that ways. It does not really work that ways. So understand that. I just gave you an example in this regard. Now it does not mean that you have to ऑलवेज थिंक अबाउट कि हाँ जी ये तो कंसेंट में लिख दिया, उसके बाद दिस इज ऑल वैलिड, वी आर सेफ. कंसेंट विल स्टिल नॉट गार्ड अगेंस्ट नेग्लिजेंस. नेग्लिजेंस के लिए प्रोफेशनल इंडेमनिटी पॉलिसी होती है. कंसेंट इज अ परमिशन टू स्टार्ट. सो इफ परमिशन इज नॉट देयर, indemnity policy may also not help you. Okay, so for visiting doctors, should the clinic take the consent of the visiting doctor or both? Ideally, anyone can take and consent. I believe visiting doctor should be the signing person. You be the witness of that consent. So there was a question, you can say yesterday in the group as well. Who is responsible? By the principle of vicarious liability, I'm repeating it for the nth time. The owner is responsible for all the mistakes that the servant does. Of course, don't take it in literal terms, a servant or whatever. So owner means the master of the clinic or the owner of the clinic, and the servant means the employees of the clinic. Can be associate, can be consultant, can be, you can say, assistant, whatever it is. So it is a common practice now these days for, you can say, consultants, clinic owners, to get their associates by an indemnity policy, so that if they commit a harakiri, if they commit a mistake, not by choice, not by chance, their clinic is at least saved against any kind of monetary damages. And of course, their own policy will also help. But ideally, anyone taking the consent is good enough. But I believe visiting should take the consent or sign as the primary physician, primary clinician, and you can sign as the witness. So it can be vice versa also. It can be you skipping that, or your associate or assistant signing on the witness. It does not make a difference. The final responsibility lies on the clinic owner itself. So of course, आपके एसोसिएट को भी कुछ होता है, आपके कंसल्टेंट को भी कुछ होता है, नाम तो आपके क्लिनिक का खराब होता है ना. रिमेंबर दैट रेपुटेशन इज व्हाट इज इंपॉर्टेंट. इट इज नॉट हु इज पनिशेबल और हु इज नॉट पनिशेबल. So I hope I answer you all your 5 queries. So query number, still continued. Okay. So what to do when a witness is not available? Is it still taken as a valid consent? See, witnessed consent is always carrying more weightage. It does not mean that a non-witnessed consent is not valid. It is still valid. It is still valid. The only thing is that a witnessed consent will be carrying more weightage in any court of law. So always prefer to have a witnessed consent rather than a normal consent. Witness consent means 4 signatures. So sometimes patient will have a problem. You want to start the treatment, the patient is not there. Then your associate and an assistant can double up as patient's witness. If the patient gives a verbal consent for that, you can add a line over there. The patient did not have any, you can say, neighbor, relative, friend to bring it on, and they wanted to start the treatment. So they have themselves opted for a witness from the clinic itself. So add that line. This is how the customization works. If you are doing that, you need to add that line, and the patient needs to know that also, that you have opted for this thing, that you don't want to delay the treatment, you want to do the treatment. And the question is, you're living far off, या आपके घर में कोई नहीं है, या जॉब के टाइमिंग ऐसे हैं कि somebody will not come back. So this is the way it does. So I hope I have finally answered your question. So query from Hyderabad, Telangana. Fellow dentist charges less. I am a senior dentist but not able to change the Myers swampiness. how to avoid bargain. Sir, if you are a senior dentist, I would always believe that you carry a separate dignity and a prestige, and you don't need to, you can say, merge with the crowd. You must have created your own niche by now. Your name is all must have been now credible in your area. So it hardly matters to you how much your fellow dentist charges. I'm sure where Dr. Sandesh Maikar is practicing, that area will not be devoid of dentists. But if he is charging 10x of what the normal dentists are charging, and with that I would say, if अगर वो हम सोचें तो शायद जो न्यू कमर्स हैं शायद वो 0.1x चार्ज कर रहे हैं और what Dr. Sandesh is charging. So don't think of that in that regards. So I would say that you need to maintain your dignity, you need to convey your niche, and you need to charge now for your brand value, rather than, you can say, getting into the murkiness of who the patient wants to do and what they want to do. Whatever people are doing, it is their wish. The lotus, you can say, blossoms in swampiness only. So think yourself as a lotus, not the lotus of the Bharatiya Janata Party. I'm talking of the lotus flower. So don't take me wrong. So कीचड़ में ही कमल खिलता है, इस तरह बोलते हैं कि नहीं? So that is why you need to understand and respect your seniority. You need to understand whatever you're offering as an experience, and you need to charge for that without bothering what people around you are doing it. Somebody who has just begun his practice will not be aware of the cost. So they are bound to charge less. It is as simple as that. The only question is whether we feel bad about it or good about it. That is our personal concern. So I hope how to avoid bargain, setting the context, setting the things right at the start, and of course, doubling it up with the treatment approval form and the consent form, mentioning costing in detail, getting in return, giving them a, you can say, a detailed pay structure, like a treatment approval form, like a consent form. I am working on a payment scheduling form as well, so which I will be unveiling in my consent workshop whenever I do it next in March or April. So there are 2-3 new kinds of forms which I can say have got an idea from these pain points only, and which I'll be designing, and of course, if possible, I'll be sharing it with many of you as well. So I hope this answers your query. So query number 18 is from Nagpur, Maharashtra. Staff training is an issue when having some important task or emergency, have to close the clinic. I lost my father last month. Obviously, I'm yet to recover from that trauma. Filling this form is also difficult for me at this moment, but I have this difficulty as I'm not getting any juniors. So a couple of you asked me, sir, why are you doing these 5 pain point sessions early in the morning? That too in the cold winters. You are in northern part of India. It will be bloody cold. The first thing is I'm not doing it in road. I'm doing it in the comfort of my house. The second thing is I'm anyways an early riser. Summer or winter does not make a difference. The third thing is queries like this. Somebody posted a query in June. He or she said that I lost my father last month, probably in May 2023. How long we can prolong the queries? We've already been answering whatever my schedule allows. I've been doing it twice, or you can say 3 times even a month. I've been answering the queries. Rajat is taking up those queries in the WhatsApp community as well, on my request. So we're trying in a way, whatever way we can help it out. He's taking all these topics one by one. He has, you can say, lined up all these topics, and we will be surely taking up in his way also. This is my way of taking up these queries. So yes, that is why I say finish what you start. We started these things in 2023, and that is why we need to finish them in 2023. First of all, sir or ma'am, I'm very sorry for your loss, that you lost your father, and we are acknowledging it after almost 7 months, I would say. So I understand it is a great trauma. I lost my father exactly 4.5 years back, and I have still not recovered from that trauma fully, I would say. I still sometimes do get nightmares. I'll be honest to acknowledge that. So it is not a loss. A mother and a father is a loss which cannot be, you can say, healed up 100% in our lifetime. Again, it depends upon how close you are to your parents. But I'm just telling my honest feelings. So I'm not discouraging you that you will not get over this thing. I said not healed up fully, but it is again a personal choice how emotional kind of a person you are, how left brain or right brain person you are. It depends upon that also. So staff training is an issue. The question is, always keep multiple staff. That is a unspoken rule of clinics. Even for smaller clinics, 1.5 per chair is the gradual average. So if you're having 2 chairs, you need to have minimum 3 assistants. We need to understand that our training is based on multiple aspects. We have 3 broad sections in our clinic. Number one is the admin or the reception area. Can be different also, can be segregated also. Some have a reception separate and an admin separate, but I'm just categorizing it into one. So number one is the reception in the admin area. Number two is the CSA area, chair side area. Number three is the housekeeping area, or the maintenance, or the journal dusting, or the instrument cleanup, whichever is you can say needed in our clinic handsomely. So sometimes our training is not you can say based upon what we are doing. We are trying to teach them all those aspects. Sometimes this does not match with their aptitude. Remember, ask attitude, skill, and knowledge. You may give them knowledge, they may upgrade themselves with the skills, but attitude is like the, you can say, it is the ask is attributed or equated to a iceberg model. If you remember the iceberg, it is 10% above the sea line, 90% below the sea line. So skill and knowledge are above the sea line. Attitude, which further has different parts, personality, as traits and motive, that is below the sea line. So the attitude determines that. Now, if that person has an attitude of a housekeeping or a CSA or an admin, these are 3 different streams altogether. Some people are not very friendly with computers or record keeping. Some people are not very comfortable with doing the instrumentation and the cleaning part. They are very happy to help you in the chair side part, and vice versa. So, what are you training for is the primary thing. How many staff members you have is another thing. And then how long is your training process, how much, you can say, it gels with their attitude or their you can say iceberg model is again a different proposition altogether. So think on those lines. You are in Maharashtra, you are lucky in that sense. There are staff training programs being offered in your state as well. I think in Mumbai, one of our fellow colleagues organizes staff training programs. So if you feel that it is difficult for you, give them, get them a training done from there. Sponsor their budget. Remember, I have told you this thing. Staff retention के लिए 4 factors: monetary growth, work life balance, respect and care, and the fourth was career growth. If you give them staff training in a professional way from the coaches or mentors who are doing it, you're actually giving them a booster for their career growth. So think about it, it will help you. I hope this answers your query. No, there is still more. So can't believe on some juniors to handle my patients. So have in back of mind that they might not be able to handle the way I handle my patients. Definitely, they may not be able to handle the way you handle your patients. They may be worse than you and they may be better than you. Both the things are possible. You don't need to always underestimate them, that they would be less capable only. So understand that if you are, you can say, uh, if you are looking to grow further in practice from stable to success to scale phase, you need to delegate more and more as you grow. Now, Dhirubhai Ambani or say Mukesh Ambani does not do everything by himself. He has huge team. Now, I'm not giving an example of Mukesh Ambani deliberately, but any you can say one who has scaled up will not be doing all the tasks. Even I am not doing all the tasks. Remember, I'm changing the slides, and I don't know whether this thing is you can say, having more questions or not, because I have not added these questions. These have been added by my staff, and I have not even gone through it. I'm just looking at these questions for the first time. So it is like a extempore declamation kind of a speech for me, which of what I'm doing it. But if I keep on doing all these small things also by myself, I won't be able to do what I do in a day. You must have seen the kind of content I post on social media. I still work for, you can say, I'm there for 8 to 9 hours in my clinic. Maybe work for 5 to 6 hours on the patient, but I'm there for 8 to 9 hours. Some work is delegated, some work is with me. So need to delegate more and more. As you grow in practice, you need to spend more time at the back end rather than the front end. That is the beauty about this cast, this profession. And the third is marketing. Of course, marketing is an awareness exercise. The question is how frequently you believe that you need marketing. If you believe that you need it daily, absolutely right. If you believe that you will need a marketing every now and then, just give me a second. Just give me a second break. So sorry for the break. So if you believe that marketing is an ongoing daily activity, I'm sure then you are thinking on the same lines as I think. It is a continuous visibility activity. If somebody believes that marketing is done, ek bari ka ho gaya, khatam, then they are actually thinking on the wrong lines. It is an activity which has to have a continuous presence in our clinic. Marketing is a awareness exercise. It is an awareness activity. And if somebody is not doing that activity regularly, then I'm sure they are lacking in on so many counts. So I hope that answers your query. So query number 81 from Moradabad, UP. Managing patients is easy, but normally we are so overburdened with managing staff, lab, electricity bill, Nagar Nigam hassles, fire department, pollution, and so many other small jobs that you feel burdened at the end of the day. The simple answer is delegation. If you don't delegate enough, then you will surely feel burdened. We are not Superman or Superwoman. Of course, women are Superwoman, but men are not Supermen. So they need to realize that certain things are to be handled by certain kind of people. And you need to have a separate scheduling done for that. If you're overburdened with clinic work, then keep associates. If you're overburdened with accessory work, keep managers, keep employees who can handle these kind of works. If you want to do that also, this also, you need to remember the best of both the worlds is sometimes not that easy and not that possible. So unless you think that your work is delegable or delegatable, I would believe that you are on the right side. But if you want to have the cake and eat it too, I'm sorry, that won't be possible. You'll actually burn out yourself very soon. The problem associated with all this is the perfection syndrome. We believe that what we can accomplish, nobody else can accomplish. True. We sometimes have that notion, and we are very much, you can say, right in our own might to have that notion. But the question is, how long? How long will you keep on doing or keep on having thinking that I am the best and I can handle this work the best? So there are people who can do better work than you. The only thing is, appoint able people who can handle your work. Where we do, you can say, inept hiring, or you can say hire incapable people, that actually reflects on our own capabilities as well. Time and explaining patients. See, for any business, marketing, selling, HR, and different activities are there. Like in dentistry also, if we consider 10 functions of business, But people in business may have sales teams. In our clinics, maybe assistants and associates can help, but most of the times you can say for smaller to medium clinics, I'm saying for smaller to medium clinics, most of the times the selling part has to be done by us. We are the face of the clinic and we are involved in selling. Of course, we may or may not be the actual doers of that treatment. Now, why I'm saying actual doers of treatment? Because we may have associates for that, we may have a visiting consultant for that, we may have a visiting specialist for that. So that is absolutely okay. But selling part is one thing which we need to do it, and we need to be a lot perfect in there. I always mention selling is to be done very, very graciously and not, you can say, cheaply by going over the top or overboard in that. So we need to spend some time in that, because this is the money making activity. If conversion happens, you get to do the actual treatment and you get the revenue as well. So it is an income generation activity. So don't disregard selling, you can say, or explaining the patient, or you can say pitching your services to the patient as a service which is a, you can say, a negotiable feat. As you grow, maybe you can have able associates who can do that on your behalf, but then that will need a lot of training on your part as well. So think about it. I believe for small to medium, selling should happen by us. Or maybe you can say multi-level clinics, multi-specialty clinics, you may have a sales team. Of course, dentists only, not the MBA managers. You may have the sales team who is going to give you the results. So I hope this answers your query. Query number 82 is from Mumbai, Maharashtra. We are a very senior and state-of-the-art practice, due to which we perform good quality work and charge accordingly. But we practice in a dentist-rich neighborhood with about 30 dentists and 2 dental trusts just on our road itself. They charge very poorly, due to which people find us expensive, even though we are charging appropriately. So we face attrition of patients for high-ticket jobs, which is the main pain point. The question is, if we are thinking about loss of high ticket patients because of pricing part, I'm sorry, I'm not ready to buy the argument. The question is, people may shift dentists for small jobs, but they will shift, or they will risk their life for a big job, big task, high accountability task, to only those people who are skilled. Sometimes money, yes, for a few it may be, but mostly for high skill jobs, high ticket jobs, money is not the criteria. People want that एक ही बार करना है, अच्छे से करो, अच्छे बंदे से करो. They'll always have that mindset. Again, I'm talking of the majority. And who does not practice in dentist rich neighborhood today? You have 30, everyone in maybe about tier 2 or tier 3 has at least 10 to 15. Again, that is absolutely, you can say, huge for their town and their size of population. So if you are having good state of art practice, the question is, are you marketing it enough? Are your patients knowing your worth? Are your patients knowing your credibility? Are you reaching out to them with proper resources? Are you able to display what you have? These are the few questions you need to answer yourself. If you have answers to these questions, I'm sure you will find, you can say solutions very quickly and make adjustments accordingly, where you can make a way that you reach out to your prospective patients, reach out to those targeted patients who have high ticket jobs and who can rely on you for their services, for their needs, and you may be the ones who may be able to handle that. See, don't get me wrong, but being senior, having a great practice is one aspect. Having a great skill is one aspect. It is not given that anybody who is senior will have a lot of skill also. He may have a lot of experience, but he may or may not have a lot of skill. That is one thing we need to be very, very sure, because people always equate this thing wrongly. They believe that somebody who's senior, having a lot of experience, will have a lot of skill as well. So if you're senior, if you are having a great practice, you can say a well crafted clinic, well designed clinic, well designed area, then, and of course, I'm believing that you have skill set also. You're doing good quality work, but you have good skill set also. Reach out to your patients, letting them know what you are. Not about the seniority, not about the state of art practice, but about the skill part. And that is best done in today's times on social media, on your website, through your before after cases, through your testimonials, through your patient reviews, through your Google reviews, whatever it takes. There is a combination of factors which is going to work. It is not that only a couple of factors, only one or two factors are going to work for everyone. If that was the case, सबको ब्लड प्रेशर के लिए एमलॉन्ग 2.5 एमलॉन्ग 5 ही दी जाती. Telmisartan or so many other medicines. There are around 35 to 40 medicines for blood pressure और hypertension. 35 से 40 दवाइयां. किसी को कोई सूट करते हैं, किसी को कोई सूट करते हैं. Of course, majority is on amlodipine and telmisartan. But if people were suited to these two, every hypertensive patient would be taking these two drugs only. So people will have choices, people will have system, people will have their thought process, people will have their understanding ability. You just need to target the right kind of people who need your services and of course can afford your services with their deep pockets. So I hope this is the end. Yeah, I hope this answers your questions. You will not face attrition of patients if you are visible, credible, and accountable to your patients. I'm not saying you're not that, but you may not be visible and credible for them. You may be accountable for sure. So be more visible, be more credible in their eyes. It is not what we think about ourselves that matters. It is about what patients think about us that ultimately matters in practice. I hope that answers your query. So query number 83 from Chamarajanagar, Karnataka. Advice, antibiotics and painkiller. This seems like a patient putting up a pain point. Advice, antibiotics and painkiller. If I were to take it in a pain point mode, I would believe that patients asking you not for the treatment done, but for antibiotics and painkiller only and not getting the treatment done. So if I am getting that correct, of course, there is no other way. The other way is that I advise you all the antibiotic based on gram positive, gram negative, anaerobic, or you can say whatever it is. So I've taken my way of answering the query. So the question is, if your patients are constantly asking for that, either you are not able to convey them the value of saving of the tooth properly, or your target group is wrong. I have always believed that if we don't target the right population, we get what is in our luck. So sometimes it becomes difficult for people to change the target group of population, courtesy their location, courtesy their setup, courtesy their way of talking, courtesy their way of dressing, courtesy so many different parameters. So if your patients are consistently asking you for advice of antibiotics and painkiller, and they are not agreeing to your treatment plan, probably you have not been able to, or probably you have not been able to persuade them enough, or probably you have not been able to, you have not been persuasive enough where you can convert them for the treatment plan. So work on your selling skills. If you don't know how to sell, it's absolutely okay. Make that as a learning goal. Learn selling properly in an ethical and a gracious way. So I hope that answers your query, and I hope I have taken the meaning of the query, what you wanted to ask, in a correct way. So query from Thane, Maharashtra: clinic income and expense sheet maintenance, inventory management, appointment scheduling. Now, these are not pain points. These are full-fledged topics on which I have multiple, you can say, media available in the form of blogs and videos. But anyways, I'll try to answer in short whatever I can in this ways. So clinic income and expense sheet maintenance. See, the expense sheet is based upon your consumables and your fixed expenses or your assets, I would say. So some of the equipments that we buy are our assets. Some of the materials that we buy are our consumables. Repairs, even for example, somebody gets a compressor repaired, and you can say a new head is put into there, a new motor is put into there. That is not to be counted as an asset. That is to be counted as an repair expense only. But if you buy an RBG, a CBCT, you can say an endomotor, or maybe you can say any such gadget, it is to be counted under the asset side. Now, the difference between asset side and the expenses are taken in full. The assets are accountable for about 10, 15, 30, 40, whatever they are accountable of the expenses in that year, or maybe sometimes even half of this. What is that? This is known as their wear and tear value or the depreciation of that. So you don't put in the whole charges for the assets or the equipment that you buy. You put in only a portion of that, which is we call as depreciation. Also, for expenses or the materials that you have bought, you put in full charges and maintain your expense sheet based on asset and in that. Now, clinic income, when we talk of, you may have various heads: cash, GPay, PhonePe, Paytm. You may combine GPay and PhonePe and Paytm into one, and then NEFT, then IMPS. Again, IMPS can be combined with the GPay and all that. So you make various heads where you receive the payments in that format. And of course, expense sheet I've already told you. Inventory management. Inventory is to be managed like a two-bin system, where you firstly need to know what are your annual consumption levels, what are your monthly consumption levels for that material, irrespective of the patients. The average has to be put in. You need a buffer stock for that. For example, you have something, you can say, for example, your glass ionomer cement, the normal bonding, you can say glass ionomer GC1. For example, if you're using GC1 anyways have been short, but I'm just giving an example for you to understand this. So you are using GC1 and you have 2 packs of that. You are situated in an area where you are getting things after a lot of difficulty. Then you need to keep a buffer stock of that. For example, your GC1 with a decent work lasts you about 2 to 3 months. Then you need to make an order when the last bottle of that is opened up. But if you're situated in an area, a tier 1 or a tier 2 town, where you just call up the dealer and it delivers to you next day, or you can say 2 days later, then you can have an alternate way of maintenance. So inventory management is a task that is entirely dependent upon your consumption levels. You decide which things last you more, which things last you less. Appointment scheduling, of course, this needs to work out as per your ability to treat how much patients in how much time. I always believe strictly in the scheduling part, courtesy, you can say, the principle of the Pareto principle of 80-20. So the 80-20 principle says that we need to prioritize those 20% patients who are giving us 80% of revenue. So if you are prioritizing those patients, they are to be treated in your prime time. They're to be treated when you are the freshest. And when you are the freshest, you will obviously, you can say, make more money in that times. And that for that, you need to know how much task you are going to accomplish in how much amount of time. That means that you are giving an appointment yourself. Of course, your receptionist will schedule it, your staff may schedule it, but you are telling that, okay, I need this patient at 9 o'clock. I'm going to spend about 1 hour, 30 minutes on that patient. Keep a 15-minute buffer. The next patient I see is at 10:45. This is the way you plan it. The assistants or the receptionist may write it, but you plan it mentally first, and of course, in sync with the availability of the patient as well. You know which task you're going to accomplish when. So, of course, it comes with a lot of practice when you are verbally able to calculate. So, you can say I started absolute appointment scheduling from 2007 onwards, from April 2007 onwards. And trust me, till date, we're following the same system almost 17 years later as well. So it is a process which helps us a lot in increasing our efficiency and increasing our productivity. So I hope these three full-fledged topics get a reasonable justification from my side. Query from Majalgaon district, Bid, Maharashtra. Charges for relatives and known patients. It should be as per the clinic policy, whatever you want to. I believe there is nothing called as a 5% discount. That is that is, you can say, वो हिंदी में बोलते हैं ना, शलगम को पंजाबी में गोंगलू बोलते हैं. तो मिट्टी, वी ऑल नो, डस्ट. तो बोलते हैं 5% डिस्काउंट इज नोन एज गोंगलों से मिट्टी उतारना. सो मीन्स यू कैन से डूइंग जस्ट द फॉर्मेलिटी. सो इफ यू हैव टू गिव डिस्काउंट्स for relatives, known patients, friends, doctors, whatever, you can have various slabs of 10, 15, 20. Now, this is my advisable way. You're free to differ from it in whatever way you want to. So, I believe minimum 10, max 20. So, if as a clinic policy you want to have constant or same charges for everyone, devoid of the category ki doctor hai, known patient hai, relative hai, friend hai, family hai, whatever it is, then even it's okay. As I said, it depends upon you. Somebody may give 30% also, somebody will give 5% also. My range is 10, 15 or 20. For known patients, 10. For, we can say, friends, 15. For doctors and relatives, 20. That is the way I segregate. It can vary for you, but that is the basic formula that I follow. I hope that answers your query. So query number 86 query number 86 from Mumbai, Maharashtra. Staff attitudes towards practice: when they become good at the daily operations, they are not open to learn new things and stay laxed on following all the things that was mentioned to them at the start. Continuous learning, that is why continuous learning is very important. See, the prime example are these pain point sessions. The maximum attendance that has reached is, you can say, 70, 230, 240 people posted their pain points. The maximum attendance online has been 70. People have posted their pain point, गोंगलू से मिट्टी उतार दी, done the formality, अपना जी हल्का हो गया, and they feel that they are done with it. If you posted your query, it is your duty to get it answered. I have been doing a recap after I am done with about 80, 90. It is not possible to do a recap of 80, 90 questions just for those people every time. So that is why I said I'll be doing a recap only in the episode number 7, not in episode number 8 onwards. We'll directly start from wherever we leave today at 8:15, 8:20. So see, if staff is not involved in that, you need to answer how much you are inclined to do an active continuous learning. Very, very few people, you can say, do, or you can say, identify themselves as a lifelong learner. LLL, lifelong learner, should be the motive of everyone. Trust me, guys, your staff is a reflection of your capabilities. It is a reflection of your capabilities, of what all you are doing, and don't blame them for that, because they are actually showing you the mirror itself. So obviously you need to set parameters for that. Let's believe the other side of the story, that you are a lifelong learner, you are the one who is inclined towards knowledge, but your staff is still lax. So that is where multiple, you can say, parameters like annual bonus, I discussed in a previous query. Annual bonus can be linked to their learning, following their protocol, whatever it is, they can be linked to that. Then whatever, you can say, they are being offered as a part of their part is in those terminologies is very important. So it is all a, you can say, a collective game. You need to make sure that the staff is learning continuously, is imbibed towards career growth, and follow the parameter. There should be absolutely non-negotiable certain, you can say, things. People believe that agar mera staff kuch naya nahi kar raha hai, is dishonest, you can say, is cheating me, then if he's bringing me revenue, I can ignore that. You need to have strong clinic policies for that. You need to have multiple staff members for that. Somebody who is showing results, showing growth, needs to be rewarded more rather than the one who is showing lesser in that regard. I hope that answers your query. The thing is, we need to understand. I told you about the ASK model, the competency iceberg model, the ask, mindset, attitude, skill, and knowledge. Skill and knowledge are above the iceberg. Attitude is below. Attitude has further, I can say, breakage into traits, motive, and how they view themselves. So you can change a person's skill, you can change a person's knowledge, you can't change their attitude. It has to be something which is ingrained, inbred in their work culture. So if you are you can say, wanting to see them, then this needs to be judged right at the time of hiring. But if they were good enough at the time of hiring and have shown that showing a change of attitude after a few months, maybe a year, then the best way is to sit with them, give them a feedback at a one-to-one level. ये नहीं कि सिर्फ आप क्लिनिक में ओपनली चिल्लाना शुरू कर दो. It is not the way things work. So give them a feedback on a one-to-one level that we agreed upon our terms, we agreed upon certain things. This is one way of giving it. That I believe that you are not performing your duties. So I believe you to be too up to the mark. But zamana aisa hai ki people are afraid of saying direct things to the staff. अगर कुछ कहा तो ये भाग जाएगा, अगर कुछ कहा तो ये बाहर जाके कोई और जॉब ढूंढेगा. So the question is, what are the options for us? Another option for us is the sandwich feedback, the good, the bad, and the good. You have been a very, very loyal employee of the clinic. You've been like a pillar of our clinic. But and you have been following all the rules diligently. Good. But of late, I've seen that you have not been coming on time, and a couple of patients have also complained about it. Bad. But knowing your track record, I'm sure that you will be able to overcome these shortcomings as soon as possible. And this is the least we can expect from an employee of your stature and caliber. Again, the good part. Good, bad, the bad sandwich between the two good parts. So this is one way of doing it. And if they don't show an improvement, do it again after a period of 4 weeks or maybe a month. So if they still don't show an improvement, set a parameter, set a time bound, and get rid of such a staff member. That is the best I can suggest you, because staff are going to change only if they know about it, what they are doing wrong. Now, the security part, the first example that I gave is, if we say something bad, the staff will run away. The question is, if they don't value you or your clinic, they'll surely run away. But if they are happy in all the 4 spheres, career growth, work, monetary growth, work-life balance, and respect and care, why will they do it? आप उनकी गलती पे भी उनको प्यार से बिठा के in your chamber one-to-one feedback दे रहे हो in a very, very normal tone, or maybe in a sandwich feedback mode. What more respect and care will they need? If you were reprimanding them in front of every staff member, every clinic member, then it is wrong. Then it is wrong on your part. So I believe that should be the way. And I hope that answers your query. Okay, it is 8:15. So we'll finish here, and I'll begin from query number 87 tomorrow morning, 6:45. So let me just go back and yes. Okay. So thank you so much for a patient hearing. And this is the upcoming project today evening, Tuesday, 26th, 7:30 p.m. Finance pain session episode. Again, 90-minute session. Again, the first part will be started with a recap. But tomorrow, for example, I mentioned about these practice pain points as well. I'll be starting right away from query number 87, and there will be no recap. And I'll be starting sharp on time at 6:45 as I did today. So this is the upcoming project, and this is the project which is coming up tomorrow. Practice points, pain points episode number 8, tomorrow morning 6:45 a.m. from pain point number 87 onwards. Remember, the journey is till 2:30, 2:40, whatever it is. Some points are clubbed, so maybe around 2:30, 2:40 are there. And this is the upcoming finance workshop. You'll find a few queries of finance where people are asking so many questions. They want to learn so many questions. You'll see in the evening session itself. But the solution is here. If you want them detailed solution, I have recently created a 3.0 version. So many of you might not be aware, but if you are not, this is the awareness exercise. I'm not selling here, just doing awareness exercise for all of you who are here. So what is your homework for today? I'm sure you may be having quite a bit of learnings. So develop this trait of giving back to the society. Whatever your takeaways are, wherever you're watching it on the FB group or on the Zoom, from tomorrow onwards, you'll be watching only on Zoom because it won't be light streamed into the FB page. So, and post your top 3 to 5 takeaways in the WhatsApp community or in the FB group, wherever you are with me. You can post this on social media as well. My ID everywhere is Dr. Bhavdeep. So do it right away after the session. Cement your learnings. Writing is the best form of learning. Remember that. So I'm sure there would be ample. And of course, this is my social media presence by my name only: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, wherever you wish to. And on my YouTube channel, as on 24th December, Christmas 2023, 900 plus videos are already there. If you're yet not a subscriber, do subscribe and hit the bell icon. You'll know that I do keep on posting videos. And from New Year onwards, there's a huge amount of content that is coming your way. So if you're not a member of my Facebook community, again, the community is by the name of Dr. Bhavdeep, or search PSD, plugging handicaps in dentistry. So if you are watching on Facebook and not part of my WhatsApp community, these are 2 groups that I'm running since almost 6 years now. In January end, they'll be completing 6 years. We started in Jan-Feb 2018. So we'll be completing 6 years. So 6 years is a long time to keep them advertisement free and purely study based groups. So do give your feedback. Bookies and brickbats would be welcome in equal measure. And of course, I stop my share for questions from all of you, if there are, and I unmute all of you. If you want to ask any questions, you can unmute yourself. You can say, switch on your camera and ask your questions. Thank you, Dr. Rohini. Thank you, Dr. Pankaj. Thank you, Dr. Bhavna. Thank you, Dr. Aarti. Thank you, Dr. Shravani. Any questions? Facebook group or on the WhatsApp meeting, please feel free to ask. So we'll be sticking to 90-minute sessions only. Each days, morning and evening for the next 5 days. So there are no queries. So I call it a day, and I see you in the evening 7:30 for the finance pain points episode number 7. Bye-bye. Take care. Have a great day.